What childhood secret did you keep from your parents that would have changed everything if they knew? I kept a box of handmade birthday cards for my father for 20 years. I started making them when I was 7 after my mother left us. Dad said she needed to find herself in Arizona with her yoga instructor. My dad Ray worked construction during the day and security shifts at night. He'd come home with hands cracked from concrete and eyes red from lack of sleep. For his 37th birthday, I used my school supplies to make him a card. Construction paper folded in half with glitter glue spelling Happy Birthday Dad on the front. Inside, I drew our stick figure family, just the two of us holding hands. When I gave it to him at breakfast, he glanced at it for 3 seconds while chewing his toast. Real men don't need sentimental garbage, he said, pushing it aside to check his work schedule. I picked up the card after he left, hiding it in my desk drawer. Cried myself to sleep that night while holding my worn-out teddy bear. The following year, I made another card anyway. This one had a superhero theme because Ray had taken me to see the new Batman movie the month before. A rare treat. I wrote, "You work harder than Batman," addressed the envelope, then remembered his reaction to the previous card and added it to the first one in my drawer. By the time I was 10, I had a small collection. For his 40th birthday, I spent weeks on an elaborate card with a pop-up design showing our apartment building with a tiny paper Ray standing proud in front. The night before his birthday, I overheard him on the phone with his brother. "Nah, don't bother with cards or gifts. Birthday celebrations are for women and children." I sealed the card in an envelope without showing him. I moved the growing collection to a Nike shoebox when I was 12. Each year on March 15th, I'd make a new card, write a message about what I appreciated about him that year, then seal it in an envelope with his name and the date. I hid the box under my bed, then later in my closet behind winter clothes. By 14, I had 8 cards he'd never seen. At 17, I left for college. Took the box with me, carefully wrapped in a plastic bag, then placed between layers of clothes in my suitcase. My roommate Judy found me making a card on my father's birthday our sophomore year. "Why make it if you never give it to him?" she asked. I couldn't explain it. Just knew I needed to keep the tradition. Ray paid for my education without complaint. Picked up extra weekend work to cover what my scholarship didn't. Called every Sunday at exactly 6 p.m. from his landline. Never asked about my life beyond grades and if I needed money. I met Chase at 25. When things got serious after a year, I showed him the box while we were unpacking after moving in together. 16 sealed envelopes then, nearly all the same size, arranged by date. He read a few and went quiet. "You should give these to your dad," he said. I refused. The rejection of that first card still stung 18 years later. When Chase proposed at 27 during a weekend trip to the coast, I called Ray immediately from the hotel room. He responded with, "He seems responsible." Closest thing to approval I'd ever get. When they met for the first time at a steakhouse downtown, Ray shook Chase's hand formally, asked about Chase's job and retirement plan, didn't hug me, left early claiming an early work shift the next day. I didn't expect Dad to help with wedding costs. He'd retired from construction the year before, living modestly on his pension in the same apartment where I grew up. But he insisted on paying half, handed me a check without ceremony during a Sunday lunch at his place. "Your mother would have wanted to see this day," he said. First time he'd mentioned her in years. For the wedding, Chase suggested we incorporate personal elements instead of just traditional ceremonies. "What about those cards for your dad?" he asked. After all these years, the idea still terrified me, but Chase persisted. "You've kept them for a reason," he said. I finally agreed, but was terrified. Our wedding reception was at a hotel ballroom last Saturday. 120 guests. Time for the gift. I could barely breathe as Chase brought the box to Dad's table. Dad looked confused when Chase said it before him, opened it slowly and read the explanation card, looked up at me across the room, his expression unreadable. Started opening the first envelope from when I was 7, then the next, and the next. I couldn't watch anymore. Told my bridesmaid I needed air. Went to the bathroom instead. Hid in a stall for 20 minutes, checking Instagram to distract myself. When I came back, Ray was gone. Chase said he'd left abruptly without saying goodbye to anyone. The box was gone too. I was devastated but tried to enjoy the rest of our reception. Later that night, as we were saying goodbye to the last guest near the hotel entrance, Dad returned. Eyes red. Tie loosened. He walked straight to me, ignoring everyone else. "I didn't know," he said. He pulled me into the first real hug I could remember since childhood. "I thought you never loved me like you loved your mother." Then he let go and left without another word. Then, as Chase and I were packing for our honeymoon to Puerto Rico, I got a text from Dad. He never texts. It said, "Been sleeping with them under my pillow. Call me when you get back." No emoticons, no explanation needed.